I'll through this 1.5 hour sessions, I'll really like to focus on the entrepreneurs, specifically the student. So throughout the session, I would like to call them the scientist. So I just wanted to like motivate them to file more intellectual property rights. And here I'm trying to focus on, it's not only introduction to the IPR, like, because I think there are so many series of the IPR, specifically for the patents. Many lecture series has been carried out through number of institutions, right? So I just wanted to focus on at which stage you want to file which type of IP. That's what my today's motto for this session. At which stage you want to file which type of IP, because many scientists get confused between the type of IPR and at what stage we need to file the IPR. So this is the main focus of our today's session. So I just wanted to confirm, am I audible to you all? Yes?
Yes, ma'am. Audio is there. I think.
So continue, sir.
Sorry.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you are audible. Clearly audible.
You're not able to see me. And my video?
Yeah, your video is also good, but I think there is some network issue as it is discontinued.
Video. That I think, but I think let's try for this. If still the network issue persists, I'll off my video. Is that
Now
okay?
your audio is good.
Much. So today we just wanted to focus on the difference between invention and innovation, and why only innovation is interlinked with the IPR. See, the basic funda behind the IPR is you need to commercialize it. I think there are constantly some messages in the chat box that we are having trouble while connecting to the network. Hello. Is it clear now? Is it audible now? Because
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
getting a message that is
Now
network
it is
issue.
clear and audible.
I'll continue with this. So I just wanted to focus on what is the basic funda behind the IPR, why we file the IPR. Because see, it's not a recognition and reward only. We file a IPR because we want a commercial gain. That's what I just wanted to focus on. Why you want to file a IPR? Because IPR filing is not that much easy task. You need to invest into that, right? And every person who is investing in something is what a return in something, right? So this is the basic of the IPR, and that's what I'm going to focus today. So first of all, we'll understand the innovation first. What is the innovation and IPR that we are going to interlink with? Third thing that is most important is you want to protect your innovation through IPR. So we'll discuss the journey of your innovation, because you are the scientist. That's what we are focusing on, and I'll call you all the scientists. So you are the scientist and you need to protect your innovation, right? So we'll discuss the different stages of the innovation correlate with the various intellectual property rights. Ways to protect the innovation through the intellectual property rights. At which stage you need to identify which type of IP, that was again our core focus. And we'll have introduced some hypothetical but practical example to understand like which type of IP we need to protect at which stage. And finally, we'll sum up all our series with the quick pick of the all type of IPR. So when we discuss about the invention and innovation, I think many of you know the difference between the invention and innovation. So basically, we file a IPR, intellectual property rights, for the innovation, not for the invention. That is a simple thing. We file the IPR and we are getting a recognition through IPR. That might be a patent, trademark, copyright, design. Every type of IPR, we get a protection for our innovation, not for the invention. So invention is a creativity. But innovation is when the creativity has hashtag commercial value, then that become a innovation. And for that innovation, we get the intellectual property rights. So it might be a patent or it might be a trademark, specifically focusing on a patents and trademarks. If they have a commercial value, then only we'll get a patent or we'll get a trademark. So we have some hypothetical examples to understand you all with a very clear picture. What is the difference between invention and innovation? So if your invention has a commercial value, then only you will get a patent and you will get a commercial benefit from your research. And that is very important, is your product, your innovation should be a valuable to the society. That's the very important thing. So that's why our today's topic is innovation to IPR, right? Because we are focusing on innovation because our invention has a creative value plus a commercial gain. Our invention should focus and should be gain boom in the market, then only we'll get a return from our IPR. So this is how we just wanted to discuss with you all. So while discussion, if you have any queries, any questions, you can interrupt me at any time. I'm ready to answer it. So just so we have the question and answer session at the end of our series, but still if you have any questions in between, you can ask me at any time. So this is the difference between invention and innovation, and again I'm focusing that we are protecting our innovation, not an invention. Innovation we are going to protect through our intellectual property rights. Now how we can distinguish between invention and innovation? So your invention should be innovative. Now, how could you decide and how could you come to the conclusion that see, my invention is innovative? So here, can you able to see this slide focusing on meaningful invention? Next slide, right? Are you able to see this? So how you could identify that my invention is innovative? So here I have given one example. So I think we know that Samsung has launched their Z Fold phone, right? Everybody knows that Z Fold phone from the Samsung series. So nobody had have that thought that phone can be foldable. So it can be, might be a pocket size or it can be like a tab size. So everybody knows the sizes of the phone, but nobody has think of it only in one device. We can make it small as a pocket size and big as a tab size. So this is what the scientist working in the Samsung has thought of, and they have come up with the innovation that is a Z phone mobile device. So I have given some picture of that particular patent which has been filed by the Samsung for this Z Fold phone. So this is a picture they have given in their patent application. So this patent application has been filed in 2015 to 18 years. So there are a number of applications for this Z phone fold, but they are coming in the market. I guess in last year 2021 they have announced their Z Fold phone. If I'm correct me if I'm not wrong. So I guess in 2021 they have announced this Z Fold phone, right? But their patent application has been filed. First application has been filed in 2016-17. Some of that's what their priority, and 2019-20 is what their publication. So people come to know about their invention in 2019, right? So where our whole world is suffering from the COVID, their scientists are working on the new innovation. Why this is innovation? Because Z Fold phone is what a market need, right? Everybody want this na yaar. I want the phone that has to be a tab size, at the same time the phone is become a pocket size small, right? So this is what a need of the market. When there is a need in the market and you launch such kind of a product in the market, obviously it would get a commercial gain. But they are not doing it simply making that Z Fold phone and going into the market. They properly at very early stage protect this invention. So in 2018 they have protect their invention, and 2022, the year 2022, they are going to be in the market with this product. So can you imagine the pipeline where their research is? So in 2018, they have filed the application. That means their scientists would have been working on that invention since 2 or 3 years before, right? So this is what the pipeline, this is what the journey from the innovation to the IPR. This is one of the best example I could have thought of to share with you. So this is what, if your invention is outbreaking, if your invention is considering the market need, and it is an improvement of already existed marketed products. So these are the three things that we need to focus on to distinguish our invention is, whether our invention is innovative or not. If your invention is outbreaking research, or if your invention clearly satisfy the market need, and third, if your invention is improved product. So this is how you can identify. If you have the answer of these three in your invention, then your invention would be a innovative one. Now, I guess you would understand the difference between invention, innovation, and how you could decide whether your invention is innovative or not. Now, why I'm focusing on this more about these innovative aspects, because in the first slide itself, we have identified that innovation is getting IPR protection, not an invention, right? So this is one example of the innovative product. Now, to start with this, how that innovation and IPR are interlinked. See, I think you might have known this. You want to file a patent, you want to file a trademark, you want to file a design and all. But I think the strategy behind filing the IPR is very much important, because that's what decide your commercial benefit. And it's not like, see, there are two things. If you want to file a patent or trademark just for the reward purpose, that's okay. But if you want a commercial gain from this, so you need to decide the strategies for filing the IPR. So that's how our journey from innovation to IPR. So I have given one example of Samsung Z Fold phone. That's the innovation to IPR. Since like 5-6 years back, they have working on their innovation. Then they file their IPR and then they are coming into the market. So this is how we need to think of. So here I have given one flow chart, like how we have to move ahead from our invention to innovation to protecting our IPR, and how we'll get a commercial benefit. So here, let's in first step we have some idea, right? Like this kind of a process we are using, we are getting a maximum yield, right? Or this kind of a device is very useful and detect any particular product in very fraction of second. So this is an idea. So that is our stage one. Now, second is we need to literally screen and evaluate whether that idea is really workable. Because I think many person, we have a number of thoughts and number of ideas every day, right? But this is a vague purpose, right? If you want to go through the innovation and IPR, you need to sort out all your ideas. You need to evaluate it, screen it, and you need to focus on those ideas only which are to be executed, right? So that is a third stage, that is execution, right? So after execution, so let's say I'll give you the example of chemical process. So let's say you have come up with the new chemical process by something reactant A, which is a novel one. So that process become a novel or inventive. But getting a higher yield with that process is what the innovation, right? So getting a higher yield with that process is the innovation, because you are getting a higher yield. That is, you are identifying the market need, right? So that is become an innovation. So you have a number of uh, ideas to evaluate how could I get a higher yield through this process. Only one or two ideas would work out. That is what the evaluation screening. Then what you will do, you will perform that experiment in the laboratory, right? Really with this idea I'll get a maximum yield. So that is what we call as execution. So with that execution you'll come to this, okay, by using this reactant I will get a maximum yield. Okay, that is what the execution. Now that particular reaction, right? So you'll decide this is a reaction, I'll get a maximum product. So this is what my final process, so what we call as a executed process. So what you will do, if you are a scientist or you are working in a chemical industry, what the scientist will do, so they'll simply go for the production, right? So this is the process, and do like start the production. So that is the production. Once your product is ready, you'll go for the commercialization. So this is how the particular R&D work, let's say in the chemical industry, works on. Now, how could we identify the IP? So this is what the process. Number of reactions we have carried out, one optimization reaction that has we have identified, and then we'll go for the production and we'll go for the commercialization. So in whole this journey of the innovation, how could we identify our IP? And at what stage we need to protect our IP and what to protect? So these are the three common questions scientists usually have. How to identify the IP and what stage? Because see, identifying IP, I would say, would be a easy question to answer. But at what stage your IP needs to be protected is very much important to gain a commercial benefit. Once your product into the market and you would have decided to file a patent, that won't be possible. If your product into the market and now you have decided, no, I want to file a patent, so that won't be a possible. Patent office would never allow you, never grant you a patent, because your product already into the market. You're already devote that product to the public, right? So you cannot gain again the monopoly for that product. So at which stage your IP needs to be protected is very much important. And what to protect, because there are a number of IPs, patent hai, trademark hai, copyright hai, design hai. So which type of IP you need to protect? Because one innovation is usually covered with the number of IPRs. So we have some example of this also. So here we have again given the example of mobile phone, because I know it's very much easy to understand all over the faculty members and the students. Mobile phone is, everybody know about this, and I think everybody is updated with the technology and all in the mobile devices. So here, which type of IP is involved in this mobile phone? Because identifying IP is very much important thing, right? So one innovation thing can be covered with the number of IPRs. Right. So how could we identify IP behind this mobile technology? So here with this, we have, let's say we are using a Android technology in the mobile phone, right? So that technology has been patented. That is the type of IPR. So technology has been patented through patent type of IPR, that is protected by IPR patent. So which Android is a technology that has been protected by patent. Second, if it's a Samsung brand, that has been protected by trademark. Now another thing, if we have this Z Fold phone, so which has been fold at this stage, so these are the images and the folding device. So that particular design of that mobile phone has been protected by design type of IPR. And the software, so particularly if we're talking about the India as a jurisdiction, so with the Indian thing, from the Indian Patent Office or Indian patent law perspective or Indian IPR perspective, so the software used in this phone has been protected by copyright. So I just wanted to focus on that thing. Each type of innovation has been covered with the number of IPR. So this is one example of it. Now, while doing a research, you need to identify which type of IPR is covered through your innovation. आपके इन्वेंशन में, आपके इनोवेशन में, जब आप when you are converting your invention to innovation, in that innovation which type of IPR can be filed? So you need to focus on that very early stage. So now what are the stage that we need to protect our IPR? So usually this is the basic type of IPR that you all know, that is a patent, trademark, design, copyright, trade secret, and geographical indication. So can you able to see now this slide, types of intellectual property rights?
Madam, slides are not moving.
Type of intellectual property rights. Can you able to see the screen?
Yes, but only slide number 4.
Slide, journey of innovation to IPR.
And still it is same number 4 slide.
I'll again share my screen. Just a second. I'll stop sharing and again sharing it. Now is it visible?
No, ma'am.
No?
It is coming. It is coming, madam.
Is it visible now, sir?
No.
Just let me know whether you are seeing the upcoming slides or what. So slides are moving at your end, sir.
Not yet, madam.
So I'll do one thing. I'll share my presentation with you. Can you able to share at your end so that I think that at my end I'll clearly able to see the slides are moving. Just let me know once you can able to see the screen and the moving slides. Are you able to see the moving slides?
No, ma'am.
I will send you an email presentation.
Madam, I think you will have to click on the PPT.
Can you able to see, sir, now? I have clicked on PPT itself. So still not visible.
Ma'am, not visible slides.
Sorry.
Not visible.
Okay.
Now it's okay.
Now it is visible, ma'am.
So,
Madam, now it is visible.
shall I continue, sir?
Yes, journey of innovations to IPR we can see.
Uh, so here, actually, we have divided our whole presentation to this slide. So here we have given 5 stages of our innovation. That is idea, evaluating and screening that idea. Third step is what you'll do. You'll execute your idea. and finally you are going to the production, and then finally a commercialization. So whole this is what we call as a journey of innovation. Now what you need to do in this journey or in this process, as a scientist, you need to identify your IP. Second thing, at which stage you need to protect your IP, which type of IP, obviously that has been covered in identifying the IP. At which stage you need to protect your IP and what to protect. So here we have one example. So this is a type of IP involved. So how you could identify your IP. So here this is a mobile phone, right? So the same
सर मैं
example
तो
which I
पासवर्ड डालने मसाला बंदो कैसे हुई
put a mobile phone, which the same example I have given you into the previous slide. So this is what innovation, that the same Z Fold mobile phone from the Samsung. So this is an innovation. So which type of IP, that is identifying the IP they are being protected through this innovation, is first is the technology, that is what we call as Android phone today. So that technology has been covered through a patent. Second, the brand for that product, that has been covered through a trademark. And obviously the folding is what the main feature, which is actually we can see through our eyes, that is a visual appearance we call. So that visual appearance, that is a folding, has been covered through design. So in this Samsung Z Fold phone, design and the patent, these are the two more important intellectual property right. They have covered it before going to the market, that is a 5 years behind the line. So before 5 years going to the market, they have covered their trademark and the design, and obviously patent for that particular technology. And the more important thing is the software. So as I have discussed, with the Indian perspective, copyright has been protected through your software has been protected through a copyright type of invention. So these are the types of intellectual property rights. You all might have known this, because these are the 5: patent, trademark, design, and copyright. So I think that has to be there, the correlation between the intellectual property rights and why you want to protect that intellectual property right? So here, just a simple concept. Your intellectual property right should give you a commercial return. So that was the main focus of the intellectual property right. So why you want to protect your intellectual property right? To gain a competitive edge. But somewhere else your patent has been, your innovation should not be used by anyone else. That was the main the finding patents, trademarks, and the copyright right. So that's not the only thing. Okay, somebody should not be copied my invention, but the main purpose is I would gain a commercial benefit. That is what a protective competitive position into the market. That's why company has protect their intellectual property rights. So why I'm discussing this, because see, now in the particularly talking about the academic institutions, and I have been working with the number of academic institutions since last 10 years, I really think of it, the students or the scientists or the professors has so many very innovative ideas. I would literally say it's an innovative idea, but at which stage there has to be protected and what type of IP that has to be protected is what the things they should know about. So that's why I have given this, because nowadays government also promoting the students to start their own startup, right? Instead of going for the typical process, the students government because this is what the IIC is doing, right? The student has to be motivated and inspired to start their own startup. But for the startup, actually, before thinking of starting your own startup, it's very much important to understand this, doing a research and protecting your intellectual property right, because startup has to be survive for more than 10 years, right? Because a number of startup has been seized to be after 4 or 5 years. Why? Because they don't have these strategies, competitive edge, maintaining your competitive position. Because see, product quality and all are the other thing, that is a post market thing, your product quality, your service quality and all. But what has to be there is your product, right? Your innovation, and that has to be protected through a proper channel. That's why we are discussing it. So as a scientist, as a student, if you want to start your own startup, this is very much important to understand the strategy to file intellectual property rights. So here, instead of focusing on the patents, the typical monotony of filing a patent application with this process, that process and all, I really want to discuss with you all the patents and the trade secret, the difference between the patents and the trade secret, because our motto is to let you understand the IPR and which type of IPR has been protected through which innovation. So that's what our today's motto. That's why we have divided our IPRs and the journey of innovation to IPR through different sectors. So the first sector is a patent versus trade secret. I know many of you know about this patent versus what is a patent, what is a trade secret. But what I want to convey with you that when to file a patent and when not to file a patent. That is very much important while actually in the journey of the scientist with a number of experiments and as an entrepreneur who is running their own startup. So decision of making when to file a patent and when to file a or when not to file a patent, it is very much important. So this is a basic only innovation get a patent because invention should has a commercial to be a patentable. What I want to discuss with you, so when we're talking about a patent, so can you able to see this slide? Patent or publication? Yes. Patent or publication. Can you able to see this slide?
Ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. So here, instead of going for that, what is a patent, what is a trade secret and all, you just need to understand when to file a patent and when. Now, many of the scientists have been confused with this. कि यार see, patent भी तो publish होता ही है और journal भी तो publish होता ही है. So it's okay ना to file a patent or the publication. That's all right. So as of now, many of us has come to know this patent has a higher advantage and value than the publication. But still, there are something important that you all scientists need to be understand. That is whether you have to go for the patent or whether you have to go for the publication. So here publication means a journal publication. So here I have given one hypothetical example. Let's say you have some outstanding research. Now the question is, so here the thing is, you can both the thing you can do actually. You can file a patent also, you can file a you can publish your article, your research paper also. But strategy is very much important. That is how we are correlating journey to the IPR, a journey of scientists to the filing their intellectual property rights. So here you can file a patent also and publication also. But the strategy is what? You should file a patent first and then you'll go for the journal publication. Once you file a patent, your invention. So once you secure your invention, you are ready to publish that in whatever the journal, conference, and everything once you file a patent application. But by any means, if scientist has missed that, and obviously if he don't know about this, he just simply publish their all the research material into the journal. Let's say journal publication they have done at the first instant. So what to do? So Indian Patent Office and particularly most of the countries' patent office have this grace period. So for example, if by mistakenly, so I would clearly recommend you to go for the patent first and then go for the publication. But by any means, if a scientist missed of filing the patent application and he just published their data into the journal, so what the option he has, so he can still file a patent application but within 12 months of the publication. So here publication means e-publication, I would emphasize that. So once your article, once your journal is published online, from that date you can still file a patent application within 12 months. So if the scientist miss this 12 months time period, then he is not able to file a patent application because that invention become nowhere novel and it if the newness is not there for that invention, patent cannot be granted, right? So this is the strategy, that why to go for the patent, when to go for the patent, and whether you need to opt for the patent or the publication. So once you file a patent, you can publish that data in number of journals. That's all fine, because once you file a patent, you have secured your invention, right? So here, file a patent application first and then go for the publication. So can you able to see this slide, when to file a patent now? Because 3 questions we have now: identify the patent, now patent or publication, now third, when to file a patent. So this is what the scientists really want to understand, when to file a patent. Because while our journey from the research to the commercialization, so being particularly focusing on the startup and the students who are actually interested to come up with their own startup, this is very important for them, when to file a patent. So here, as early as possible, you have to file your patent. So at early stage, you can file a provisional application. So once you have an idea that yes, this is an invention and want to protect it. So at the early stage, you can file a provisional application. And within 12 months, you can file a complete application. That is after completing your research. So it's need not to wait till your research get complete and then you'll file a complete. So this is what, at early stage, you want to file a patent application. So why it is important? I think you all know that provisional application, complete application. But what is the theory behind that? Why patent office give us this provisions of filing a provisional and complete application? Any idea? Why patent office has given this provision of provisional and complete specification, filing a patent application, protecting your idea, and 12 months time period to file a complete? Any idea? Why patent office give us this provision? This is again a part of filing a strategic patent application, or filing your research with the strategic way, protecting your research in the strategic way. So it is very much important in the competitive area, particularly in the mobile industry or in any target molecule. If you are working and that target is very competitive, then opting a particular patent filing strategy, opting a particular IPR filing strategy is very much important to gain high commercial benefit. So here I have given one hypothetical example. So can you able to see this slide, when to file a patent? Advantage of early filing in a competitive market. Because it's very important to see this slide, otherwise. Like,
Yes, you can see.
yeah, okay. So let's say here I have given the example of a mobile communication, because you all know that mobile is like a maximum life cycle of any mobile is 1 to 2 years, right? If we are considering about the technology, right? After 2-3 years, new technology comes and everything is what was like a new in the mobile communication. So that's what we also need to consider while deciding our invention. Just to out of the slide, while deciding your particular invention, in which area you have to work, you again need to focus on a competitive market. What is the life cycle of your invention? If your product life cycle is let's say 2 years, so you need to work on that at very fast space. You need to protect your IP, you need to go into the market. That's all depend upon which area you are going to select for your invention. So here, for example, in the competitive market, let's say if you are working as being a life science student, if you're working in a very particular hot target, let's say anti-cancer, anti-rheumatoid arthritis, etc. So these are the very high and important targets and very competitive area. If you're working on that, you need to focus on your IPR filing strategies. How? For example, here I have given let's say Institute ABC has developed some mobile technology T in 2008, January 2008. Okay. So what ABC has done, they have filed a provisional application, let's say in February 2008. So January में उन्होंने टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलप की 2008 में, एंड February 2008 में उन्होंने प्रोविजनल एप्लीकेशन फाइल किया. Now the another institute, that is XYZ, has developed the same technology, let's say technology T. So they have developed the same technology. When they have developed it in December 2007, that is before this ABC. But what that XYZ has done, second institute has done, they worked on their invention and then file a complete application in August 2008. See, ABC has filed their application in January 2008, though it's a provisional. And the second institute has filed their application in August 2008, though they are an early inventor, right? So XYZ is a true inventor because they have invented earlier than ABC. But what the mistake XYZ has done, they have filed it August 2008, that is later than the institute ABC. So here actually in this case, it's very much difficult for the inventor to prove that they are invented this technology before the other company. It's very much difficult for the scientist to prove that, because what is there in the law says first to file, right? Whoever filed first is what the true and first inventor of that invention. So this is how the patent law says. So here, though they are later than the XYZ, because ABC has filed their invention at earlier, so they have filed it before XYZ. So their invention would be novel when compared to the XYZ. So here patent benefit would be, maybe that's the another thing, would be granted or not. But the novelty of an invention belongs to ABC because they have filed it first. So this is how the simple strategy we need to decide while moving ahead with our journey to the research. So is it clear to you what is the importance of filing earlier patent application in the, particularly in the competitive area? The next is important thing is what the eligibility of an invention. So here I'm particularly focusing on the Indian Patent Act and Indian patent laws, because every country has their different laws. For example, India won't allow a software patent, but USA does, EP does, right? Australia does, but India Patent Office doesn't allow us a software patent. So here actually, let's say software is not patentable in India, that has been protected by the copyright. So these are some important highlights that has to be, I have compiled in the presentation based on the questionnaire we have received so far through different presentations. So many scientists has this, where database has been protected. So database has been protected through a copyright. Food recipes, that has been protected again by the copyright, not that's not a patentable. Again, business method is not. So, but I think here again, I want to focus that though the business methods are not patentable in India, we have the patent granted in India. So Amazon one-click system. So in the Amazon app itself, they have a club there, Amazon Prime, Amazon Music, right? So one person has a one membership for their Amazon app also, the videos also, and their music also. So that is a one-click system. So that has been protected in India, and they have the patent for that. That is novel ways of doing business by software and internet companies. So this is the title of their invention. So there is an exception, particularly talking about the life sciences and pharma sector. You all know the section 3D of the Indian Patent Act, right? So section 3D of the Indian Patent Act doesn't allow the scientists to protect the polymer of derivatives and metabolites. But there is a loophole that if you prove that it's a more efficacious through by giving a proper comparative data, there are a number of a patent that has been granted if they have still section 3D objection. So this is just scientists has to focus on. If your metabolite really do a wonder, technologically advanced, just go for it without thinking of section 3D. If you have a strong comparative data, that's how we have going through with the number of a patent prosecution. Section 3D is the objection are there, we understand. But if your product is technologically advanced, you can surely get a patent for it, though there are section 3D, because we have patent office particularly mentioned that if you prove the efficacy, if you give a proper comparative data, you'll easily overcome a section 3D. So the just scientist has to focus on whether their invention is really a commercial need or is really a market need. So they can overcome all the parameters given by the patent office. So by proper drafting, filing, you can easily overcome this. So regarding the software patent, I think Indian Patent Office doesn't allow us a software patent. But why I'm discussing this slide? Because this is not the era of only a life science. Because now, if somebody wants to somebody wants to be at a competitive age, He has to combine his all life sciences skill, computer skills, mathematics skills. Obviously, IoT based platform is very much important because see, we see in the day-to-day life, right? Everybody is automated now, right? So that's why I am discussing this. Software patent is also actually not patentable in India, but there are number of patents that has been granted, though they are software related in India with the Indian Patent Office. By a proper drafting your patent application by a proper means, so you can get a software patent also, but again depend upon the type of inventions. So this is again very much important for the researchers and the scientists who are again focusing to create or to come up with their own startup. Now about the trade secret, actually why trade secret is important for the research scientist and the particularly the entrepreneurs who want to come up with a new startup. See, there are a number of inventions into the market. I don't want to go into detail in the trade secret because you all know that Coca-Cola, McDonald's and all. So I just don't want to go into that ki kya trade secret hota hai and all. I just want to focus on when to be, it has to be a patentable and when it has to be a trade secret, because it's very much important. आपको कब पेटेंट फाइल करना है और कब ट्रेड सीक्रेट रखना है, बिकॉज ट्रेड सीक्रेट इज रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ एन इन्वेंटर. पेटेंट रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं होती, यू आर इजिली डिस्क्लोज टू द पब्लिक बाय थ्रू पेटेंट पब्लिकेशन, बट ट्रेड सीक्रेट इज द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ अ inventor. So here again we know the examples of a trade secret: Google source code, Coca-Cola's formula. I think you haven't seen any Complan or Horlicks patent applications of their composition because again they are keeping it as a trade secret. Now, what can be a trade secret while the research scientists want to go into the market with their product? So if you are belongs to a computer or the let's say a computer background or engineering background, so your algorithm can be business strategy, advertising strategy. So I think everybody keep this trade secret nowadays, so it's need not to say. But yes, for the life sciences industry, I think the manufacturing process, if somebody don't want to disclose it to the public, you can keep it as a trade secret. But the difference is that patent is protected for the 20 years and trade secret is unlimited period as long as inventor himself disclose it to the public, right? So this is what a trade secret. But here actually I want to focus on ki trade secret kab karna hai and patent kab karna hai, right? Here I have given one example. Can you be able to see this slide, Mr. Sujit? So this is a practical example actually when you have to protect your invention through a patent or you need to keep it as a trade secret. Can you be able to see this slide, Sujit, develop a device?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So here one practical example. Let's say Mr. Sujit is a person who has developed a device for detection of acid production bacteria. So he simply designed a device. Now Mr. Sujit has a two option. Obviously, he can file a device patent. That means a patent for his device, disclose it to public. Otherwise, he could make that device as a trade secret. But here, why easily reverse engineered. कोई भी device ले लेगा, he will do a reverse engineering and the invention is now open to the public. Am I right? Anybody can do a reverse engineering on a device now once that device goes into the market. Am I right? So keeping a trade secret in this invention is not at all there are like 99% no, device cannot be make a trade secret. Why? Because it can be easily, because see, deciding whether to keep a patent or the trade secret, you need to think of it, what the competitor can do, right? That's what we have discussed. IPR, why IPR is important? To gain a competitive edge. So you need to decide what the competitor can do. So this is what for the product, trade secret are not allowed. So it won't be a good strategy to keep a trade secret. It's better to go for the patent. Now, regarding trademark, I just don't want to go that much of detail. These are the slide that we can discuss. I think you all know what is a trademark. So I just want to focus on practical application of the trademark. So just to give in brief, so the brand, slogan, phrases, letters, smell, symbol, and logo can be protected through a trademark. So the important thing about the trademark is that has to be distinguished from one goods to other goods, one services to other services. मतलब किसी दोनों का similar trademark नहीं होना चाहिए. That's what the main criteria. For example, in the patent we have the newness. In the trademark we have the distinguishedness. So our services and goods can be properly distinguished. There won't be a confusion into the public. That's what the basics and the important thing for the trademark. So here, how to file a trademark application? The similar way you need to, first of all, as in case of a patent, you need to do a novelty search. Similarly, in the trademark also, you need to do a trademark search, whether your brand. So here I would call it as a brand. So it's a logo, design, whatever you have, but I'll call it as a brand. Whether your brand is easily distinguished from the other. If yes, then you'll go for the trademark registration, file a proper trademark application, your trademark get registered. This is the process. So the more important point I need to discuss with you is the classification of the trademark. Can you able to see this slide, trademark classification?
Ma'am.
Yes. Yeah. So let's assume that you are going to start your own startup. You have very innovative product. You have filed a provisional application. You have filed a complete application. Now let's assume that your patent has been granted. Now we have seen the journey of innovation to IPR. Now it's stage 2, like you are launching your product into the market. So this is at the stage you are. So at this stage, so we'll protect the patent before going into the market, right? So here I'll show you this. When to file a trademark application. So we have seen this: idea, evaluation and screening, execution, production and commercialization. So when to file a trademark? Once you execute your product, yes, this is the final, and now your product is into the production stage. And then you are going to commercialize it. At this stage, your trademark has to be filed. So usually we'll file it before going into the market. Once your product is ready, now you are going to labeling on it. So particularly in the pharma sector, there are number of like Dolo hai, Calpol hai, let's say Melken hai, Muken hai, Algel hai. So these are the different brands, right? So they all brand names are protected through trademark. And really, I'll really happy to share with you each as a patent has a value, na. The similar way brand has a value. Brand has a value because Calpol is a brand has a value, right? Dolo is a brand has a value, right? Many of the person won't take the other medicine. That's what their brand is. So again, trademark also has a value, though as a patent. So when to file your trademark? See, now your production, you are going to start your production, right? उस पे labeling भी तो करना होता है. So before that stage, you need to decide particular brand for your product. And that stage, you need to file a trademark application. So preferably before going to the market. Again, preferably before going to the market. You can also file your trademark after commercializing your product with the user affidavit, but we recommend you to file it before going to the market. This is a stage where entrepreneurs should think of whether to protect their brand, because see, nowadays it's very difficult to get a very distinguished brand name. We are facing it really. It's very difficult to get a proper brand name, a distinguished brand name. So as early as possible, you have a catchy name, just go and trademark it. This is a simple advice, and every attorney will give you the same. Once you have a very catchy name and distinguished name, just go and protect it. So just say go IBBO. It's very different, right? So that's how we need to protect our brand before going to the market, which again help us to gain a competitive edge. So now how to protect your trademark? So you know all about the patent. Novelty hai, inventive step hai, patentable invention, and now you're going to file a patent. What is for the trademark? Actually, trademark, we have the two types, service trademark and the goods, that the trademark for the goods. So Indian trademark office has divided their goods and services into two classes. So total class are 45. Classes 1 to 34 for the goods and classes 35 to 45 for the services. So I know it's a little bit difficult to understand what is this classes and all. So I'll give you one practical example for this. Can you be able to see this slide? Scientists working on novel microbial culture media. Can you be able to see this slide?
Ma'am.
Okay. So here one hypothetical example. Let's assume that the scientist is working on the novel microbial culture media. Now, scientists really want to commercialize that culture media as a name of DIFCO. So he want to commercialize that culture media and name it as a DIFCO. So what the IP component he has to protect? So first of all, he has to protect the patent for the microbial culture media. Am I right? Yes. Now, second is a trademark for the DIFCO. Now, how he could do it? So why I'm discussing this? Because entrepreneur or the scientist should know this, whether your trademark is a distinguished or not. Like distinguished name. Does anybody has the same name? So what he'll do, he'll first of all find out what is the class for the culture media, right? So here trademark office, Indian Patent Office has given us a nice classification where culture media has been classified in class 1. Good. So 1 to 45 classes है, उसमें से class 1 is for the culture media. So he need to search for whether that DIFCO name has already been registered in class 1. उसको ये सर्च करना है कि क्लास 1 में डिफको नेम किसी ने ऑलरेडी फाइल किया है या नहीं किया है. दैट हाउ ही नीड टू डू. So if he searched in class 1 DIFCO and he got a negative result, that means nobody has yet filed the application for the DIFCO. He could file the trademark application and the trademark, his trademark is easily get registered because nobody has filed this before DIFCO. So this is how you need to identify your IP. Trademark. Let's say a person called Ramesh is running his hotel. The name tree book. Can you be able to see this slide? Yes. आपको ये स्लाइड दिख रही है? रमेश रनिंग अ होटल अंडर द नेम ट्री बुक एंड ही वांट्स टू फाइल अ ट्रेडमार्क.
Ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So first of all, if he has already running his hotel, he has given a name tree book. Now he want to file a trademark. So it's very important to search that whether that tree book is distinguished or not. Whether previously anybody has using this tree book as a name. So what he'll do, he'll simply find out the class. In which class, what is Ramesh Services Hotel. So he need to find out the services or the classification for his services. His services is a hotel, right? So service related to hotel falls under class 43. So what are services for providing food and drink, temporary accommodations, lodging, and also all that fall under class 43. So Ramesh has to search in class 43 whether the tree book has been already registered or not. So if tree book has not been there, so nobody has using this tree book. So like it's a green signal for him and he can file a trademark application. So it's very much important to first of all search the distinguished mark. So it should not be similar with the other marks. So you all know the parachute and paracare, right? Paracare is now out of the market. Why? Because of this trademark suits, right? Because parachute and paracare, though paracare is not exactly same as a parachute, but it is it's not a distinguished, right? It create a confusion into the public. it dilute their brand, right? So Paracare is not registered, and the para should file a case against them. So this is how the value of the trademark entrepreneur should think of it before going to the market and search for the proper and distinguished trademark or their brand. Now, apart from the trademark, I think copyright as a scientist and students, I would focus on you have only that literally work is what the scientist has. So literally work should cover your protocol, mathematical algorithm, obviously not your workflow and the charts or the books that has been covered under the literally work. So if you don't have a proper book, if you have abstracts, if you have something, let's say nowadays everybody is making a short notes, right? Short notes can also be protected through a copyright through a literally work. Apart from this, I think design, you all have no, just one thing I need to focus on the design thing, visual appearance. Once you, because many people got confused between the patents and the design. So actually patent is for the technology and design is only for the visual appearance. Design application or design registration doesn't cover the mechanism. This is a simple thing. Patent covers the working and the mechanism. Design covers only visual appearances. So here I have given the examples of the different bottles. So working of bottles is not at all importance for filing a design application. Only visual appearance, size, shape, texture is the important thing. So similarly, let's say if any scientist or entrepreneur uh, uh, develop a new device, so their working is protected through a patent and their visual appearances, the box packing, their shape and size has been protected through a design. Design is valid only for the 10 years and further renewed for the 5 years. Patent is valid for the 20 years. Again, like a trademark in design also we have the classification. That's what we call as the Locarno classification. So here again Locarno classification. So there are a number of classes. So in the pharma industry or in the life science industry, most of the application for the design has been filed for the different shape of the tablet, capsules, packaging, blister packaging. So we have a different classes for this. So if you have a unique packaging design, that can also be registered through a design IPR. If you have a unique shape of the bottle, can be registered through a design application. So here I have given one example. So let's say shape of the bottle is covered under class 9.1. So that is a packaging and container for the transport. Shape of a capsule, if you have a different shape of a capsule, I think you know that sorry, calcium tablets has been come up. I think Kareena Kapoor is advertising that capsule, vitamin D capsule, right? So they have heart shaped. So they have protect their design. So that are the first test tablet come up with that shape, heart shaped capsule. For the vitamin D capsules are there. So that has been protected through a design, and their composition has been protected through a patent. So this is a difference of different IPR with the one innovation. Again, for the design, I have given the example of this mobile phone. Now, the important thing is, what is the process of filing a design application? Again, for every IPR, we have the newness of our innovation. So again, for the design that has not been reported anywhere, that is, we need to search for our whether our design is a new. We need to search for the class. If our design is a new, actually there is one database that is a WIPO, one global database for the design search. We need to search on that whether our design is unique or not. If our design is unique, we can file a design application. Then it has been examined by design office, that is our Kolkata, the design office is at Kolkata. We'll get a examination reply. We need to reply to that queries, and we'll get a registration certificate which has been valid for the 10 years and for the renew for the 5 years. So here again, I think you might have interested in this example. So I have put this. So here I have given one example. Let's say this is a perfume bottle. So shape of this bottle is being protected through a design, that is class 9.1. If you have come up with the device, for example, new shape of autoclave, so that has been again protected under class 24.1. that is apparatus and equipment for the doctors, hospitals, and laboratories. So this is a practical application of protecting your IPR in forms of a design. So again, copied designs are not protected. Simply similar designs, if they are already existed, are not protected through a design application. And again, functional features of article are not protected. Functional features are covered through a patent. आपका working model जो है वो patent से cover होगा. Physical appearance and the visual appearance has been covered through a design. So in our whole journey from innovation to commercialization, where should that design falls? So design falls before production. Am I right? Design fall before production. So once you have an idea, you have evaluated and screened it, and you are executed it. So in that execution stage, your design application falls before starting the production, right? आपकी जो pilot batch है tablet के capsule की, you have decided which shape you have to give to that tablet or capsule. So before production, your design application should be filed. So again, it will help you to gain a competitive edge. After commercialization, you cannot file design application. I am again reciting it. After commercialization, once your product into the market, you cannot file a design application. Your design would no longer be new once you go into the market. So design application commercialization के बाद file नहीं हो सकता because your invention, your particular design lacks the newness. Your particular article lacks the newness. So you need to file a design application before production itself. So this is a stage where you need to identify whether your design has been there or not. So here, this is a last slide, I guess. So here one hypothetical example I have given. So can you able to see this slide? So this is the last slide of this presentation. So can you able to see this slide? Mr. Deepak develop a new process. So this is one practical example, and really people are facing this problem. So they know about the IPR, but they are a little bit difficult for them to like go with the practical sense where we should go for the IPR. So here I have given one hypothetical example. Let's say Mr. Deepak has developed a new process, a non-alcoholic drink from the sugarcane. This is how the process Mr. Deepak has developed. Now he packed the drinks in the bottle having unique cap with the opener, right? So which IP component he can register? So first of all, he can file a patent application for the process, or else obviously he can keep that process as a trade secret. So that's up to Deepak how he could protect his innovation properly. So if he can able to protect it through a trade secret, it's okay. Otherwise, he can file a patent application for the process. And second, for the design, that particular opener, he can file a design applications before commercialization. Again, I'm citing before commercialization. So this is a practical implication and the stages where we need to identify our IP, protect our IP, and at a proper state with the proper strategy will really help the entrepreneur scientists to gain a commercial benefit for their innovative product. To summarize all of this in the quick peek, you all know that patent can be filed for the technology. So again, actually, it's not only patent has to be a new. For patent to get registered, actually, there are only two things are important. Novelty is there. But if your invention, as I have seen for the life sciences products, section 3D is there. Though your invention is a metabolite or the product, but it is a technological advanced than the already existing product, still you will get a patent. It's not only like, you know that I think again that is altogether a different topic of like filing the patent application in the strategic way for the startups and all. That is again altogether different topic, but still your research and your patent application should go side by side. So there has to be a proper strategic patent application filing. Then only you'll get a proper patent portfolio for your product. So that's what advised by the patent attorney. Patent is valid for the 20 years. Trademark is valid for the 10 years and can be renewed time to time. Design can get only for the visual appearances, and that has been renewed for the 5 years, valid for the 10 years. After 5 years, no renewal. Copyright, obviously, it is a lifetime of the author plus 60 years. And geographical indication is another IPR. That is whole and sole jurisdictions of the central government. So that is valid for the 10 years and renewed time to time. So these are the different type of IPR and they are quick pick. So I think I have covered through the what I need to convey to you, that is your invention, your innovation, and protecting your different types of IP. So any question, any doubt? I think I'll have questions in a chat box.
Thank you, ma'am. All the participants are requested to write down the question if they have any in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and ask the question if you have any.
There is one question, ma'am. कोई एग्जिस्टिंग टेक्नोलॉजी को मॉडिफाई करके इनोवेशन हुआ है तो उसका आईपीआर कैसे हो सकता है या फिर हो भी सकता है या नहीं. सी दैट्स व्हाट माय लास्ट स्लाइड वाज रिप्रेजेंटेटिंग. सो अगर किसी एग्जिस्टिंग टेक्नोलॉजी को आप मॉडिफाई करते हो बट दैट मॉडिफाइड टेक्नोलॉजी इज एक्चुअली द एडवांसमेंट ऑफ एग्जिस्टिंग टेक्नोलॉजी, तो वो इन्वेंशन हो सकता है, उसका इनोवेशन हो सकता है. जैसे आप अभी मोबाइल में ही देख लीजिए, मोबाइल का साइज छोटा छोटा होता गया, डिस्प्ले छोटा होता गया. सो दैट इज ओनली मॉडिफिकेशंस, राइट, बट दे आर टेक्नोलॉजिकली एडवांस्ड. जैसे कि नॉर्मल फोन था आपका पहले हाथ में, उसको आप फोल्ड भी कर पा रहे हो, उसको टैब जैसा बड़ा भी कर पा रहे हो. सो ऐसा नहीं है कि फोन पहले नहीं था, ये फोन मोबाइल टेक्नोलॉजी पहले नहीं थी. फोल्डेबल फोन भी पहले था, एम आई राइट? सोनी रिक्सन का फोल्डेबल फोन पहले भी था, ऐसा नहीं है नहीं था. दैट टेक्नोलॉजी ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्ट, बट व्हाट द सैमसंग हैज डन, दे हैव सिंपली मॉडिफाइड इट. एंड अगेन देयर इज अ इनोवेशन एंड देयर इज अ मार्केट गेन. तो हो सकता है, बट यू नीड टू फोकस ऑन दैट कि आप जो टेक्नोलॉजी मॉडिफाई कर रहे हो वो एग्जिस्टिंग टेक्नोलॉजी से अच्छी होनी चाहिए. दैट शुड बी अ कमर्शियल नीड फॉर द पीपल. देन यू कैन फाइल अ पेटेंट एप्लीकेशन. आईपीआर डेफिनेटली हो सकता है. Are you I think I'm up to your question, Komal Desai madam. So are you convinced with this? So am I okay with this, ma'am? Komal Desai, I think she has asked this question. Kamal Desai, sorry. Any other question at your end?
Yeah. You have the questions that do we have to fill up feedback form? Yes, I will announce regarding that. If you have any questions related to IP or intellectual properties, you can write down in the chat box or unmute yourself and ask, or else we will end this meeting. I hope all of you. Sorry, ma'am.
On the slide, I have given my details. You can reach to us with this two email IDs, info@geniobrain and asha@geniobrain. And I have given the mobile numbers also, so you can reach to us for any questions or queries.
Sure, ma'am. Yeah. So we would like to thank you, ma'am, for sharing your valuable insights and expertise regarding intellectual property. I hope all the participants understood and were enthusiastic to learn more about intellectual property, how various types of IP, most precisely patent and trade secret and trademark, how it is helpful to make their innovation a monopoly, or they can make their own, and they can start their own enterprises or their startup by protecting their intellectual property. We thank you, ma'am, on behalf of Saurashtra University Institutions Innovations Council for your valuable time and insights. For the participants, we thank you for being here. Today, our another session of Impact Lecture Series is at 3 p.m. And regarding feedback link and e-certificates, we will share you the feedback form to you on the mail ID through which you have joined this event. and from that link you can share your feedback and you will receive the e-certificate for the same. We thank you, ma'am. Thank you all. Yeah, I am ending this meeting. Thank you, Asha ma'am, for being here.
Thank you, sir.